So today I thought I would do a little vlog. I realized that I hadn't actually experimented with the film stock profiles that you get on the Osmo Action 6. So today I thought I'd come out for a little walk and we'll test out those film profiles together. It is very bright today, so we'll see how these look. This is WT set at 100%. What do we think of this WT film profile? Now we have switched to FE, and this one looks quite nice on the screen. The problem I think sometimes is when you add these on to a camera is that they can look quite nice on these really high depth screens we have here, OLED screens. But actually when you get them back on your computer you realise that maybe the greens look a bit too green, the blues look a little too blue, or the mood of your video has changed slightly and you can't take these looks off really. So that's why I don't use them, but some of these are actually looking pretty good, and I think if you are the sort of person who just wants a look for your videos, these could be quite good. What do you think of this one? Now this one is WT set at 100%. I do think 100% on any of these probably looks a bit too much. So I think what I might do is do about 50% for each of them, just so you can, actually maybe let's do 70%. 70%, at least then you can see exactly what these look like. And then you know in your mind, if it looks too strong, you can dial it down a little bit within the Osmo Action 6. Or you can dial it up if you actually want it to be that big. Next up we are on TR. Apparently this is for pleasing skin tone. So how does this look? Has this made my skin look any nicer? What do we think? I have also, by the way, turned down sharpness and noise to -2. I always do that on any Osmo Action camera, including the Pocket 3. Now the sun is very, very bright, a lot brighter than normal, and I don't have ND filters on here, so just something to bear in mind. Tell you what, there are some lovely waves out here in Marazion today. Check these out. This one is NC, a classic film look emulation. What do we think? NC. Okay, this one is CC. It says pristine and cool for some nice skin tones, I think. Again, set at 70%. NV, amber tinted highlights. NV. This is NV, amber tinted highlights. Now I could really see this on the screen here. You can see all the seagrass here. Definitely has a little bit of tint on it. Tell you what, let's put it back to normal so you can see the difference. We've got some stones here as well. So this is the kind of colors you can expect from this one, NV. Let's switch it back to normal and take a look. Okay, we are back on normal. This is how everything looks if you have all of the film looks off and just have the camera in normal. Now so far when I've been looking back at these, a lot of these film looks actually look quite nice, I think, and obviously I will do a more detailed video than this. This is just a morning walk, morning vlog, and what I would recommend, just looking at these already, is have them on subtly, 30 to 50% max, and that'll give your viewer a nice subtle look. What I would recommend though is definitely checking out some of the Editor's Keys D-Log-M LUTs, because what they do is they allow you to film in D-Log-M, and I'll do that in a second actually, D-Log-M, and then you can color grade how you want. So if you want it to be normal after you filmed, or you want it to look like a film stock, it can, because you can adjust the LUT exactly how you want. So maybe let's put a couple of those on now. Okay, so it's gone a bit grey now. So probably these profiles won't look quite as good as when we had it nice and sunny a minute ago. But what I'm going to do is I'll keep talking and we'll cycle through some of the D-Log-M LUTs that we have from Edison's keys. And I'll definitely recommend checking these out. Oh wow, look, we have a beautiful rainbow down there. Can you see that? Just as we're talking about these LUTs, the pot of gold is at the end of that rainbow. Now, as I say, I will cycle through these LUTs as we go. And the beauty of these LUTs is that you can put them onto your footage, you drag and drop them in on Final Cut, on Premiere Pro, CapCut. You can change the intensity as you go. So, as I was mentioning about these LUTs, if you put them on and you realize afterwards, you're like, damn, that looks too intense. Sorry, there's nothing you can do, nothing you can do about it. With these LUTs, you can adjust the intensity after you've shot it. Okay, there is an absolutely beautiful rainbow behind me, but what that means is I'm probably about to get soaked, so I'm gonna get out of the rain. I mean, look at this compared to the sky over there. Oh my word, that is coming for me. To be honest, this is one of the big beauties. I think I've just proved it with a camera like the Action 6. Unlike a Pocket 3 or your Sony mirrorless cameras, which aren't really great when it starts raining, this camera can keep going and going. So if you are on a holiday, if you're doing a walk like I am, where I came out and it's super sunny, and then it's just turned to super heavy rain, you can still go, you can still record with the Osmo Action 6. And one reason why I love cameras like this, and really I'm a camera person, I always thought I would sort of hate the action cameras because the quality is not that great, you know, you can't do all your manual stuff, but really you can. Halfway through doing this review, there was an update to this camera which improved the portrait mode, something that I haven't seen really anyone else talk about. Again, I don't tend to use these kind of odd little modes. I like to film as pro as possible, you know. But anyway, this portrait mode is supposed to improve skin tones and just look a little bit more natural, look apparently a little bit more like a regular camera. I've not tested it yet, so let's test it together. Let's put it on. This is portrait mode on the Osmo Action 6. Now, I've just put it on and I've noticed a few things already. You can't film in D-Log-M, so you are stuck to however this looks. I've turned the noise reduction and sharpness down to -2 on both, like I do every single time. When you turn this mode on, normally you have the sort of standard D-Warp. There's now a flat D-Warp setting. So I imagine what this is doing is it's cropping in ever so slightly more to give you a field of view which is much closer to a mirrorless camera. Now, of course, when you do that, you are going to lose a little bit of quality. How much? We'll see in the edit. But what do we think? Has it improved skin tones? I'm just going to move around because the sun is kind of over that way. It's very grey in the sky, so we might even get a little bit of noise. Again, not too much else to adjust. I'm just going to do like a 360 rotation. This is in portrait mode. Now I think let's switch it back to normal mode just so we can compare in the same position. And this is normal mode in the same position. 10-bit D-Log Do we see any vast improvements? What's strange is that you can't get that flat de-warp setting on normal video. I kind of like these settings to be available in all other modes. You know, in some modes you can't film in D-Log, in some modes you can't film in slow motion. Bit of a shame, but to be honest, I just tend to use this camera fairly automatic in D-Log M. Let's switch back to the portrait mode now. Okay, so now we are in that portrait mode again. I'll take a look at this footage. Again, I'm not sure how much I will actually use this, but you know, it's there. For some people, this may be exactly what you're looking for. So I think it's always good to show these things off. What do you think? Flat, 4K, 25 frames a second. Horizon balancing is on in this new portrait mode.